Let us go. It's going to be a rematch from years gone by. Of course, Star Zagora was the infamously when a Rogue showed up. This is what, like 1-2 years ago, when he showed up and when he was able to showcase a newer style at the time, which was like late game mass changeling. Of course, that time has fallen out of favor and fallen out of the meta, and Rogue no longer does that anymore. But you know, that was a very momentous and very iconic moment for Rogue in recent history, and he left his mark. Did leave his mark in that Star Zagora, but here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the French Terran, the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our second qualifying match of the broadcast. We're jumping on into our TvZ, and I'm curious to see how Clem will handle himself in this GSL format, in this GSL environment, bearing in mind that we have had, again, foreigners competing in GSL before, players like Sort of, Trigger, players like Rainer as well, Juanito Special, especially in years gone by with the Team Unity Team House, with Scarlet as well. But Clem has not actually been able to experience this side of things here. I'm curious to see how Clem will handle himself. I want him to do well, of course. Want him to compete and compare to the other top Korean players. Again, Clem, he is I would say, the best Terran player in the world, and we'll see if he can kind of prove that and show that to everyone at GSL. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Gibbs, Pappy Gibbs. So far we're opening up. Hatch gas full, standard open out of Rogue. So far ranks expand out of Clem. Standard openers for the time being. Welcome to Ruby Rock. This is where timings and aggression is favored, and typically I would say that Terran players are favored on maps like this, as Zerg players have very little room to breathe. I would assume that Rogue is more tempted to open up roaches here. Roach play in ZVT is very common on Ruby Rock just because that shorter rush distance, just because that favorite aggression. So eyes are on Rogue to see if he does open roaches or if he does go lair first. Rogue, he can be quite unorthodox in his play at times, not always. He can play standard, but there are times where he does kind of spread his wings and does diversify, and he can be a bit of a tricky player to keep up with. In the current meta, I would say that's the case with all the Korean Zergs, like Shin, Solar, and Rogue. All three of them are hyper aggressive, and even Solar, who was known for being much more standard in his play, has embraced a lot more of an aggressive side instead. That has been all the craze as of the past couple of months, if not year of play. But here we go. For now, oh, hello Clem, that's different. We have a starport on the way, delayed 3rd CC. So hyper aggression out of Clem, going for a 1-1-1, a faster starport, delayed command center here. This is not standard, this is not normal, but Clem does like to mix in these more hyper aggressive builds. From here, it means we have committed an earlier Banshee play, and we can also mix this in with an armory for a Hellbat push. So eyes are on Clem to see how hard he commits. Meanwhile, lair first. That's a 3:20 lair timing, so very early lair timing. No third, by the way. Third base is heavily delayed here for Rogue. Delayed third expansion, faster lair. Ooh, there's that Roach Warren. Hey, we called it at the start of the game, if you recall, how Roach play is very common. And is this for Roach play, or are we planning to go into 2-base Muta? 2-base Muta is still an option here for Rogue, but it's quite risky. It's very, very risky. Link runway is attempted. Does not break through. So far, Clem does defend well. He defends well, building on more Hellions, checking Rogue's vision. Rogue, he did get eyes on that 1-1-1 setup. Rogue is aware, and we should be seeing safer defensive play out of Rogue. Remember, Clem's third is heavily delayed. It's now on the way, but it is heavily delayed here in favor of more army, more Hellions, faster Banshees. As Rogue is still on 2 bases, by the way. Jesus, he's still fully walled up. Third base now being taken. And Clem, he will rotate to check. And Clem moves in. He will spot how late the third is. And the lair is done. The lair is done. And gases have been taken, so do we go for the Spire or not? We have the answer, Roach Speed. Roach Speed is on the way, +1 carapace on the way, so we are not going to mutas. Rogue is committing to heavy roach aggression, which is what we expected on Ruby Rock. Again, the rationale for that is just because of the size of the map, just because Terran aggression is more favored, and it is safer to play roach. It's much safer. So far, 2 drone kills, very nice damage. Sorry, 5 in total. Jesus. Yeah, 5 drone. Oh my god, the Hellions, they get in. They get in. The workers, they line up. 1, 2, 3 drones going down. Cashing out another drone in the main. And another. And we get a full scout as well. That's 3 extra drone kills. We get 4. Barely does. 4 extra drone kills in the main base. He gets behind the mineral line, and he gets damage done, and he gets a full scout of the natural and the main to confirm no mutas. Right? That was the reason. That was the rationale of the dive. The bonus damage was killing workers, but what the purpose, of course, was scouting. So Clem now knows for certain that there is no muta play. Back at home, he's still building up his 3rd, building up his bio army, and getting into his own E-base and 1-1 upgrades. So Clem is building up. So far, a strong start for Clem. Banshees, they also deter a kind of heavy roach play, or heavy roach move outs early on. Oh, hello, and that is an early pit. That is a sub 6-minute infestation bit here for Rogue. Interesting. He doesn't even have saturation at the 3rd. Like, this is very light saturation, very early infestation pit. Now, my assumption here is that Rogue, he wants to be greedy, and by being greedy, tech-wise, no Bailey Nest. Right, there is no Bailey Nest. It feels like we want to go into infestors, so like 1, 2, 3 safety infestors, into Roach Ravager, into Fast Hive, into an Ultra Rush. That's my read of this kind of game state here. So in my mind, early pit means early hive and early ultras. Yep, there it is. We have a 6:28-minute hive. 6 minutes, 28 seconds. Again, very early hive. It begins here for Rogue. And again, in my mind, this also lines up with the reason and the rationale as to why Rogue is getting carapace upgrades. It's getting +2. It's getting +2 carapace. And again, this will help with the ultras. Now, personally, I'm still expecting a couple of infestors. Yep, there it is. We have 1 infestor on the way. That will help. A 2nd infestor's in production as well. There's that melee upgrade, as you mentioned, ultras. Like, as soon as we saw the pit, like, that screamed ultras. Now, the scary thing here is that Clem doesn't know. Not yet. Clem, he's aware of the 2-base roach, he's aware of the fast lair, he's aware of the late 3rd base, but he's not aware of the infestation pit. So Clem only has a little bit of information. For all he knows, Rogue might build up into heavy roach aggression into like a big 3-base roach all-in. That could be coming. Clem doesn't know. This is where we rely upon the Banshees. Yep, Banshees, they dip in, and they scout. He knows. I was going to say this is where we rely on the Banshees for scouting information. The Banshees, they go in, they get eyes on the infestation pit. He also gets eyes on the morphing and hive. He knows. The pit and the morphing hive screams ultra tech. So Clem, he sees everything he needs to. He's fully aware. Now, this is where mind games come into play. Never mind. There's the pit. Sorry, there's the Ultra Cavern. There's the Ultra Cavern. I was going to say that because Rogue knows that Clem knows what's going on, we could have seen Rogue skip the Ultra Cavern and just max out on Roach Ravager now, cut workers, just focus on Roach Ravager, and try to kill Clem. Speaking of, that's a kill, not a cancel, the hatchery. Oof. So we could have seen Rogue go for an all-in, but Rogue, despite being scouted, he's still going for the Ultra Cavern, and it has less of a chance of working at this point. Typically, fast ultras are meant to catch your opponent off guard. Nice fungal. Nice fungal here on the drop. Clem forced back. Clem is already working on his Marauder counts. Again, if he didn't know what was going on earlier, I mean, now he's able to respond with Mass Marauder. And Marauders are not the best answer for ultras, but they're a good kind of band-aid solution until eventually you can work towards a Ghost Academy and towards Liberators and perfect your army. This is kind of like the first step against ultras. Changeling does get eyes on the move outs. Ultra production again is underway. Candace plating has begun. And we have how many so far? Just one. Just one in production. Clem is pushing. He's pushing pre-ultra. Link counterattack does hit the 3rd base. Not bad. SCVs will be going down. Denies mining. Clem does fix it on the push. Lings, they try to hit the natural. So far, clean defense here by Clem. Did turn around for a moment here. Yep, does turn back around. These Lings, they can damage down, getting 1, 2, 3 SCVs. Oh my god. Yeah, a lot of SCV kills. Clemmy's rotating. Claiming his 4th. Claiming's almost maxed out. And how many ultras do we have so far? 1, soon to be 4. Soon to be 4 ultras. Ultras are good, but what really will make this fight and will make this game for Rogue, Fungals. If he can land a juicy Fungal, then he can collapse in with the Ultras or win a fight and then just snowball out of control. Like he's got a big fight in him. And Rogue, can he go for it? See him rotate towards the south side. He's got his 4 Ultras. We're going for an Ultra run by? This is very expensive. This is very expensive. But the Ultras are moving in. Thankfully, Clem is out of position. Oh, sorry, the changelings. True. Changelings, they confirm. This is calculated. Fungal does connect. Oh, the tank does survive. Ultras are moving in. Meanwhile, drop into the main. Yeah, drop into the main base. Ultra goes down with that. Bases are falling. Kind of spinning goes down, but not +3. And Ultras are still lacking some upgrades. Fungals that don't quite pop off. Drop in the main base getting out of hand, and Rogue is pulled apart. Yeah, he's torn apart here. Takes down the mineral line, getting into the hive. Queens are going down. Heavy losses here for Rogue. At the same time, the CC just lifted. The Ultras. Yeah, they did no damage. And down goes the main. Again, there's no reaction, no response. We can see the main army still in position. Clem just turns around, by the way. He just turns around with his main army. Ultras, now they're finally moving in, but the hive is going to go down. He gets it, the hive. Oh my god. Snipes the hive, so no Vipers, limited tech. Dropping into the natural. Killing more drones. Yeah, delayed reaction here from Rogue. And this is game-ending damage. This is just game-ending damage here. Down goes the hive, down goes the pit, down goes the mineral line. And here comes Clem. We land a Fungal. Nice connection. Fungal lands. Biles as well. The Ultra. Oh my god, massive shots. Massive shots go up. GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that, Clem. He will take the first game. Once again, Clem, he had some very nice scouting. We had some really crucial moments where Clem was able to confirm the lack of third base. He confirmed the Roach Warren. He confirmed the infestation bit. He confirmed the hive timing as well. Whenever there was like kind of a big tech structure or a big move out of Rogue, Clem saw everything he needed to. So everything he needed to, not just that, not just scouting, but also Clem, he was often getting damage done plus scouting as well. I'm referring to the moment where he went in, he killed what, 9 drones? He killed a bunch of workers with his Hellions and with his Banshees, crippling some of the economy and also scouting everything that was going on. So just very, very clean, like early to mid game play out of Clem to scout, to do damage, to hinder Rogue, and to set up and to be able to respond well. And with that, we're now getting into game número 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg, down in the series. Can he bounce back, and can he make a series out of this? The pressure is on. It is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the French Terran player himself. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, the best Terran player in the world. It is Clem. I should say the number one Terran player in the world. He's here to make his mark and to qualify into GSL. Bearing in mind, this is a qualifying match. And can he take down Rogue? As I mentioned previously, a couple of years ago, Rogue, he was able to leave his own mark in Modern StarCraft in Stars to go in his own series against Clem. But again, that was a couple of years ago at this point. Coming into this, Clem is the favorite player. But we'll see if Rogue can make a series out of this and bounce back. Again, Rogue, he can be an unpredictable player. In saying that though, again, he was very predictable last game. Why was that? Just the scouting. Like, that's the issue here, is that Rogue, he was playing in an unorthodox way. Even here, going hatch pull into delayed gases. Hatch pull gas even, or going gasless. But again, it all came down to the vision, the scouting. Clem saw everything that Rogue was doing at every time, at every turn. And we'll see if this time Rogue can catch Clem with his pants down, as we are going for delayed gases. Now, typically when we go for delayed gases, we often skip link speed, and this might be indicative of, once again, a 2-base layer into a faster layer or into a faster Roach Warren. I'm curious to see where the gas is spent. I'm curious. For now, Rax expands. So far, it's a standard opener out of our Terran player. Last game, remember, Clem went for a 1-1-1. Racks into factory, into starport, into a late third TC. 1-1-1 builds are ideal against roach heavy play just because they give you banshees really early on and it deters any kind of roach aggression. So we might see Clem embrace that once again. There's a high chance that Rogue plays roaches. Very high chance. Now Clemmy pokes in, delays the third. I mean, there is no third. Yeah, so Rogue, he's contained on 2 bases, still droning, still saturating. Again, minimal gas income so far here by Rogue. I'm still most curious where that's going to be spent. Reba gets in. Rogue, I believe he skips lings. No, he makes 2. Okay, he does have 2 lings out on the map, then moving out across. The Queen so far, they're keeping up with the Reaper. But once again, Rogue has no third expansion. He's still contained on 2 bases. The lings, they get across the map. And I start stepping out of Clem. Yeah, lings are going to be deterred. And, ooh, this time a third TC. And this time Rogue scouts. Yeah, Rogue knows. So this time a third TC before starport. This is a standard economic opener out of Clem. But I bring this up just because last game he did not go for this build. Oh, going 3 CC 2-1. Oh no, he gets scouted. Going 3 CC 2-1-1. Okay, so a greedy build into a 5:30 minute timing with Stim. Bearing in mind that 2-1-1s hit at around 5 minutes, 3 CC 2-1-1s do hit later than that, of course, at around 5:30 to 6 minutes. Meanwhile, it is going to be 2-base lair at 3:20, and we get scouted immediately. But again, we expected this. Remember what we said at the start of the game? Remember, Rogue, he went hatch, pool, gas. Rogue went for late gas, which means he typically skips link speed and goes into either early Roach Horn or early lair, and it was early lair. So 3:20 lair timing, Clemmy scouts the lair timing once again. This could be for 2-base Muta or 2-base Roach again, and there it is, a Roach Horn gets thrown down. This looks very similar to last game. Very, very similar. So building up into Roach play. It's up to Clem to confirm if this is real. Once again, he will delay the third. Oof. Yeah, the drone is going to be shut down. Rogue just cannot expand. Clem is in position. He's waiting. Yeah, he wants that drone. Oh. Ta-da! Yeah, there's a cancellation. And Rogue, he's going for the center expansion. Yeah, it does go for the center base. And Clem will confirm. This is a very exposed expansion here. Ay, ay, ay. Remember, Clem is going for a 2-1-1, a 3CC 2-1-1. He's building up in towards a stim timing with double medevacs. There's the add-on swap into that medevac production. This is coming, and this base is much more exposed. I'm hoping that Rogue can help defend here. Once again, +1 carapace, roach speed. This looks like we're getting there in a different way, but this looks like the same build. Where did that lead last game? Well, it led into a fast pit. It was what, at 6:30? 6 minutes? 6 minutes, like 6-ish minutes infestation bit into like a 6:30 hive timing. The other option, of course, is Roach all in. This could still lead into a Roach all in instead, which I'm not opposed to. So far, 9 roaches on the way. Lay third expansion. We do Maynard over towards the third. Interesting. Maynarding over. And we'll see if Rogue actually drones or not. Likewise, this is something Clem also has to confirm. Like, is his opponent going to play the same way as he did last time, or are we going for a Roach all in? So Clem, he's got his medevacs, he has his marines. Here we go. You can now start to move out. Roaches are spotted. We have 7 more roaches on the way. Second Eva chamber into 1-1 upgrades, and we're not stopping roach production. Yeah, so far we're not stopping. We're building up mass roaches. Back at home, Clem, he needs a solid tank line. Tanks are building up, but it's going to be a difficult defense here for Clem. Now, something that we mentioned at the start of this game, of course, is the tendencies of Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map, very short rush distance by ground, and as you can see here, it's very open. It's very open when it comes to the entrance into the natural, and very open here at the entrance into the third base. So this is very, very common to go for all-ins. Like, Roach all-ins are very common on this map, and Rogue is playing, yeah, he's playing like everyone else. We're just going for a Roach all-in. So massive Roach all-in, no drones, no saturation, it's all or nothing for Rogue. He's all-in, and Clem, will he try to defend his third? Bunkers are on the way, but the all-in is here. He's got 2 tanks behind this. Can he protect the tanks? Yeah, Ravagers are moving in. He wants the bile. Boys are being pulled. And 1 tank goes down. 2 tanks go down. 0 tanks. 0 tanks left. Heavy losses here for Clem. Heavy losses. And Rogue snowballs out of control. He's snowballing out of control. He breaks the main army, cripples the economy, denies the third base, and now we just keep pushing. We just keep on pushing in. Nice contamination. Contaminates the factory. And again, 2-on-1s and 2-on-1 variations are weak against Roach all-ins. The reasoning for that is because you're delaying your tank production, you're delaying your factory production in general. No Banshees. Because of the build of choice. We're holding on though. So far, Clem, he is holding the line. Tank is getting a lot of hits off. Clem, he's holding, he's surviving, and behind this, Rogue is starting to drone. He's now droning up. He's now saturating. So Clem, he's going to be able to hold the line here, but he has to counterattack. He needs some kind of counter damage after the defense. Otherwise, Clem will fall behind. As Clem, he has lost 18 SCVs so far. That was all the workers here at the third base. Clem, he wants to break out. Now starting 2-2. But he cannot. Yeah, he just cannot break out here. He scans, he's checking for saturation. He does see that droning is occurring, confirming that Clem is falling behind. He does move out. Jumping towards the top side. We have Link Speed on the way. This is a sign, of course, of Link Bane Roach Ravager. That's going to be a solid mid-game composition for Rogue. And we'll see if Clem can recover. Right now, the pressure's on Clem to find some drone damage, to kill some workers, to deny some bases. So far, he's being denied. Another drop on the right-hand side, going for a Marauder drop. And Rogue just has to defend. If Rogue can just turtle up and secure his bases, then Rogue can just snowball out of control and claim the win from here. So far, it's a very comfortable game state for Rogue. Very comfortable. And Rogue is about to max. He's about to max out. So Clem is microing his heart out. Attempts to go back in. And Rogue is maxed. He's maxed. Now he can send it across the map. Again, there shouldn't really be a world where Clem can survive this. The only way for Clem to survive this is to delay the all-in, right? It's to delay the push. If Clem can like counterattack and hit these bases and distract Rogue, then sure, like we can try to force a longer game. But Rogue, yeah, he's coming. He's already moving out. He's outside of the bases. Here comes the second wave, the second push. Tanks are exposed, there's barely any bio, and with that, we're looking to force the ace match. We're looking to make a series out of this. Every tank will fall. Forcing his way further in, breaks into the main, getting into the production. At the same time, Clem does drop across the map. Nice counter drop here out of Clem, avoiding the main fight. And he will cripple the economy. Okay, there's not much of him to defend. Picks off reinforcements, cashing out Ravagers as well. Messy defense here by Rogue. But there are more reinforcements. Oof. Yeah, some of the biles do connect. And it's not enough. Yeah, Clem, he does not have enough here. He was trying to force like a pseudo base trade, but didn't have enough across the map. He sims in. The boys are being pulled. He's trying to hold on. Este Clem. And with that Rogue, he does catch out all the production, all the reinforcements. Biles are connecting. Back across the map. Clem dropping back in. And he's doing what he can, trying to at least. And again, I appreciate that Clem, he did fight his heart out to try to find a way back into this game, but he just lost too much in the beginning. He lost too much of the initial all-in. As I mentioned, Roach all-ins are very common here on Tourmaline, and Rogue, he embraced it. Clem went for a variation of 2-on-1. He went for a 3cc 2-on-1, which means delayed tank production. It means no Banshee play. And GG. GG gets called. We're tied up. We're going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to game number 3 here, and we'll see how Rogue does mix things up coming into the third game. So far, Rogue has been, everything that we've seen so far, game 1 and game 2, have been very much so intentional based on the map that we've seen. Game 1, we saw a Roach opener into Ultras. Game 2, we saw a Roach like 2-base lair opener, just like game 1, into a 2-base Roach all-in. Here in game 3, we're going to be loading into a larger map. This is a map where all-ins are less favored, at least on 2 bases. We'll get into it. Up next, White Rabbit. We're going to be loading into White Rabbit here for game number 3, and we'll see who will qualify for GSL. Will it be Rogue? Will it be Clem? There's a lot to get into. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself, the South Korean Zerg. Tying up the series 1-1, it is Rogue. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. Here we go, as we are jumping into our final game of the series. First things first, we are going to be opening up with our initial hatchery. A hatch pool gas is what we're expecting, but welcome one and all to White Rabbits. Now, out of all the games we've experienced so far in this series, White Rabbit is the largest one. It's larger than Ruby Rock, it is larger than Tourmaline. The rush distance by ground is longer, so this does lead into typically longer and later games. This style that Rogue has been going for, this kind of 2-base lair style, I would say it will struggle more here on White Rabbit. I feel like we should be being greedier instead, and so far here it is: hatch, gas pool, earlier gas timing this time. I appreciate it. So earlier gas than last time, a much more standard build into what should be a much more economic opener. Now there is still another kind of variation here, or something else we should bear in mind when it comes to White Rabbit. It is a larger map, that is true. It does often favor more mid-game play. I say mid-game specifically because the map is relatively open. More specifically, the bases are exposed, referring to the 3rd and 4th and 5th. The bases themselves are relatively secure with choke points and with ramps and with points of elevation. That is true. But what can be difficult about White Rabbit is the distance. The distance in between the 3rd, 4th, and 5th base is quite long, where there's a very long distance here between the bases, and basically you spread yourself very thin. If you're the defending player, it can be very difficult to maintain a higher base count because you are spread so thin in between all your bases. Typically, Zerg is favored on this map. Zerg is more favored on White Rabbit when it comes to punishing and attempting to turtle player. So we'll see how Clem will approach this. I'm hoping for some more aggressive tendencies. I'll be honest, I would not be opposed to a 2-on-1. Like a 3CC 2-on-1, the build that we saw last game, I would have preferred here on White Rabbit. Now though, the Reaper does move in. It is hatch gas pool. Link speed is on the way. We're staying in gas. Ooh, we're staying one extra worker in gas. That is not normal. That is not normal here, so we're mining extra gas. We have link speed on the way. So far we're keeping up with the links, and Rogue, he does not attempt to expand. It looks like we might go into 2-base lair again. It's looking like 2-base lair. Now, if we do go into 2-base lair, so far it's been 2-base lair into roaches. Game 1 and game 2. Here in game 3, I wouldn't be opposed to muta play. Like that's an option here available to Rogue. But we'll see, he might just go roaches again, right? He is a roach boy. He is a roach boy. He likes his roaches. Curious where the gas is going to be spent. Eyes are on the main. Reaper is deflected. We have over 100 gas. What's it for? And yep, there it is, 320 lair timing. So we have the lair timing here from Rogue. So once again, 2-base lair, once again, a very late 3rd expansion. And last 2 games, it's been roach heavy play. This time, we'll see if it's roaches again. Something that has been rising in popularity from the Korean Zerg players are referring to Rogue, Shin, and Solar is 2-base Muta, but also 2-base Hydra. 2-base Hydra all-ins are also very much so a style that has been in vogue, like in meta, over the past couple of months. Over the past, like, what, 3-4 months? So gases are being taken. Roach Warren behind the natural. Ooh, okay. Because the Roach Warren is hidden, unlike the previous games, we're leaning more towards a Roach all-in, right? Otherwise, why hide it? Why hide the Roach Warren unless you plan on going into Roach speed and into heavy Roaches? So we're expecting a Roach all in here by Rogue, but we'll keep an eye on him just in case. Clem is still trying to figure out what's going on. Clem knows that the third is late, and he can assume that we have a fast lair, but just like we were trying to theorize ourselves, Clem is doing the same thing, right? Clem is thinking to himself, like, is it 2-base muted this time? Is it 2-base Hydra? Is it Roach all in again? Like, what exactly is it? Clem still has incomplete information, right? He knows that it's something on 2 bases. He knows that it is fast lair, but it could even be like a Link Queen Nidus all in, for example. For now, when it comes to Clem's build, Clem, he went for a 3cc Banshee opener, so standard opener here by Clem. Because of this, he will have Banshees available to defend against Roaches, and we're going for the all-in. We're going for the German Taxi. Ooh, okay. Roach speed is on the way. You never get Roach speed unless it's for Dropper Lords. So we're getting ready to morph in Dropper Lords. Rogue, he most likely will not join his third. He won't join his third base. He's got 2 drones here. He's got 46 workers. Again, he has a very light saturation. Only 2 bases. Third base is just for Lava. Just for Lava. Hellions, they check. Hellion Scout, they confirm. He confirms no drones. He confirms Roaches. Clem, he has a better idea as to what's going on. Once again, he rescouts and he confirms there's nothing, right? There's nothing here. This is screaming 2-base all in. Bunkers. Instantly, bunkers get thrown down. He knows. So Clem, he knows he's getting ready. Getting his bunker on the low ground. Depot as well. Building up his tanks. Building up his marauders. Whereas the Banshee is across the map. Okay, Banshee's moving in. They scout. They confirm. They confirm the Dropper Lords. And they can engage with the Roaches. And the Queens are out of position. Wow, the Queens are out of position. Free damage on the Roaches. Yeah, free damage here from the Banshees. Roaches getting called out. The all-in is coming. The German Taxi has arrived. And again, no drones, right? There's no drones here, only 46. 46 workers, 2-base Roach all in. Creep is spreading. Queen's going to be brought in. They can spread creep. Hellies, they bust into the mineral line, disrupting the economy. Banshees, they still get free damage here on the reinforcing Roaches. This is good damage. And this is why 1-1-1 and Banshee openers are so good against Roach all-ins, because you just get so much free damage on the Roaches. Despite that, here comes the all-in. Here comes the army, the tank behind this. Shots of Biles. Ooh, Bile on the bunker. Yeah, Biles on the bunker. Mass around the batch repairs. The bunker. Oh my god, the bunker's alive. Yeah, the bunker holds on with that. We even mule just in case, and we hold. Yeah, Clem is holding. Free damage with the tank. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Clem will claim the series 2-1, qualifying for GSL. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Clem. He will qualify. Once again, every game we saw Rogue go into Roach play. Game 1, he went Roaches into Ultras, to be fair. Like, he did go Roaches, 2-base Roach into Ultra Tech. Game 2, we had a Roach all-in. Game 3, another Roach all-in as well, but this time with Dropper Lords. But remember, Clem scouted. Clem, he saw no saturation at the third base. He saw continued Roach production, and with the Banshees, he also saw the Dropper Lord as well. By then, he already knew it was an all-in, but like, he even confirmed that as well. And because he went for a safer start with a Banshee-based opener, he was catching reinforcements, free damage across the map, delaying reinforcements as well, because the Hellion run by, killing drones, disrupting the all-in, and then giving himself time, of course, to build up his wall, build up his defensive setup, and defend. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Clem. He will qualify for GSL. Rogue, he is knocked down to a lower qualifying match. He's knocked down to the lower bracket instead. So, again, if you're a Rogue fan, he's not out of GSL, but he is knocked down to the lower bracket. He's knocked down